Welcome, Bullet fans. It is Tuesday night, time for Outlawed Live. It is Ravenna week. Mike, are you excited?
Yep, it is time to go. You know, we had a great week in Norfolk last week, but I was looking at the Outlaw app, and it just kind of reminds you how big this one is. Drivers already starting to pour in, 11 classes, 2 nights, 2 tracks. What more could you want to get the season going?
Yeah, big weekend coming up here. I've been watching that app intently, I'm sure, like a lot of fans are, and some of these classes are filling up pretty quickly. Two-wheel drives already with 9 signups already. It's only Tuesday. So it's going to be a big weekend. I think we're going to have a lot of hooks.
Yeah, this one should be a lot of fun. You know, anybody who went out to Norfolk and watched, that was a really smooth show, tightly produced, good competition. But there's something about going from kind of a get loose single track show to a big double track weekend, and you start, you know, seeing these big heavy hitter classes and start checking that app, and you know, it reminds you just how big pulling can get sometimes. So going to be a fun one. Going to be, you know, always a cornerstone pull for the Outlaws, Ron. I would say this is one of the pulls we kind of build our schedule around, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, usually, you know, this is kind of the, you know, the start of the season here. Ravenna always kind of, you know, starts the season, kicks it off with the first big 2-track, 2-day event. Been kind of cursed the last few years with rain. In the last 3 years, where we should have had 6 sessions in, we've had two sessions in 3 years.
We're 2 for 6 over the past 3 years. Yeah.
2 sessions in 3 years, should have been 6. So, yeah, one was completely rained out. The other 2, we were able to get 1 session in. So we're crossing our fingers. I mean, the weather looks good right now, but Friday and Saturday still a long way off weather-wise. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, the way they dealt with the rain last year, even if we get some rain out there, I think this crew can handle it and get us back on track. By all intents and purposes, we shouldn't have been able to pull on Saturday in 2025 at Ravenna, Nebraska, but we did. And they made some improvements for drainage and things as well to make it even easier to clean up. So we don't talk about rain anymore. We're talking about Ravenna, 11 classes. We're talking the Holganix Summer Sweep kickoff. All 11 classes competing this weekend are competing in the Holganix Summer Sweep. Now, it's not all of the Summer Sweep classes. There are 13 in total. 540 Light Pro and Modified Four-Wheel Drive aren't in Ravenna. So 540 Light Pro kicks that series off in Rock Valley, and Modified Four-Wheel Drive kicks it off next week in Mound City. So catch up on the comments here. Case Conover watching from Lytle, Texas. Cole Londell watching from Wakefield, Nebraska. Cole was there in Norfolk over the weekend on Friday for that event. Ben Beller checking in from Kansas. Going to start wheat harvest tomorrow. Might be a little wet down there, Ben. Not sure. We've quite a bit of rain. Tina and Eric Berger checking in from Wilbur, Nebraska. Robert Miner checking in from Niobrara. Mark Willis checking in from Carrollton, Missouri. And Ed Sass checking in. Thanks for watching the show. Bryson Dickerson checking in from Oklahoma. We got an Okie in the house here, Mike. So let's talk briefly about Norfolk, Nebraska.
Sure.
Good crowd there at the Off-Road Ranch Speedway in Norfolk this past week.
Very, very nice, nicely attended. You know, we always talk about the weather, and we try not to over-exaggerate on that, but Last year, I remember very, very hot, very, very windy. The year before, I remember very hot. This year, the stars kind of aligned, and it looked like the fans responded. But, Ron, I thought they were treated to a very nice bread and butter 3-hour show. I mean, you were up in the booth calling it. Give us your thoughts and your takeaways from how that looked from both a competitive and a production standpoint.
It was a good show, smoothly run. Didn't have any hiccups, no major hiccups. The Red Rock sled was there. Doug Pickering, I thought he did an awesome job. No resets.
I thought he was
out there 300 plus.
Yeah,
it was a good show. Good show. And Super Farm, got to talk about that Super Farm. Alice Chalmers comes out swinging. I
kind of remember somebody picking that tractor to be their one to watch for the 2026 season. So, and then I said, it's going to be important to set the tone early. Well, there we go. That D21.
I don't remember anything like that.
Yeah, Brad Hellinger looks very, very strong. We saw some people picking up right where they left off. We saw some first wins. The Superfield with the Midnight Rider tractor picked up its first Outlaw win I saw on their social media page. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, that was, I was going to pick that tractor, but I didn't, Mike, just because you picked it. I wanted to be different. You know what I mean? So, no, that is a good tractor, and he did come out swinging. Limited pro stock numbers were small. We had 2. A lot of guys had stuff going on, had breakage, had one tractor that was broke on the dyno. So no fear. That class will be back. The numbers will be back. Not concerned about that at all. Mark Ham checking in from South Dakota. Mm-hmm. And then, Kurt, he's wanting to get the rumor mill started here early in the show.
Let's chew on that a little bit.
Yeah, let's put that up there. Yeah. The wide loose deer. The Pedley tractor.
5.0 Pro.
Beard 5.0 Pro wide loose deer.
Heard it will be in Ravenna, but not revealing who bought it. Speculation is the Bill Schmidt family from Nebraska, but let's see if anybody knows.
Interesting. Anybody want to comment on that or add to it? We would welcome that. So that's interesting. Maybe we'll get to see that tractor more. He didn't make all the shows in the past. Usually he just made kind of the big shows, the ones that were, he was able to make. But yeah, that's huge news. Sounds like Kurt knows a little more about it than what he's actually letting on, I think.
Well, and we were speaking earlier today, too, to the trained eye. If you know where to look and what to look at, there's already a vehicle signed up on the app that is a new to them puller and kind of rebranded and redone in a different class. So we're going to see some of those shakeups that we always see in the offseason come to fruition here as we get things going this week. But we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled on that light limited pro stock class. I think that's the one where we're going to see something new, right, Ron?
Yeah, the old Bounty Hunter Limited Pro now is a light limited pro coming out of Pawnee City. What was the name of that, Mike? The Melrose something?
Melrose Hooker, just something straight like that. Melrose Express
coming out of Pawnee City.
By
that's
Todd Hunziker.
Yeah.
And then, Ron, I can't help but, let's chew on this a little bit as we scroll through the app over here, and people want to talk about numbers. And, a big thing that people were a little bit worried about was the North versus South divisions with the Pro Stock and Pro Stock four-wheel drive trucks. Would we see that affecting turnout or anything? Well, like you said, it's only Tuesday, and we've got 15 Pro Stock four-wheel drive trucks already ready to go. Will we see that number get to 20, 25, even higher? I don't think that north-south cut is hurting those guys at all.
No, not yet. There, I think what we're seeing here is that most of the guys are going to go for both. Here's what it's looking like.
I love it.
Because you can win both divisions. Pretty awesome. 15 hooks already. It's Tuesday. So let's get caught up here on comments. Chris Kilbarger checking in. Beller wasn't the River Rat. He signed. Yep, I questioned that this morning. So did Mike a little while ago. And I think maybe he got placed in the wrong division. As far as we know, and we've seen pictures, it does have a single engine on it.
Unless Wayne's got something cooking that we don't know about. But as far as we know, that should be in the light limited mod division, but we'll find out for certain in a couple of days.
Bryce Dickerson from Oklahoma, full pull on the turf. Yep, we are looking forward to it. Last weekend of the month, that's going to be a huge pull down there. So tell all your friends and neighbors and family members to get their butts, get their tickets, and get over there to full pull on the turf. That's going to be a huge event. So, Mike, we were talking about Holganix a minute ago. We're going to go ahead and bring Jamie Lane on, formerly Jamie Yankee. Jamie, how's it going?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, this is kind of a surprise. How I was trying to get Dave to come on, and he 20 minutes ago calls you up and says, "Why don't you go on this?" Mm-hmm. Well, he included you in the message. You're like, "Wait a minute, go on where? What's happening?"
Jamie, you are going live in 20 minutes, is what it sounds like happened there.
Pretty much, that was exactly what happened.
Yeah. So you are pulling this weekend. You told me you were out in Wyoming or Montana, or you're out west somewhere, but the husband, he's really taken to this pulling world like a hand in a glove. He went pulling while you didn't. Did that kill you to not be at the track with him?
Oh, 100%. He hasn't missed a single pull in the last 3 years that I've done, but I had to miss his fifth pull. Yeah, we'll see if he gets some more seat time. Anytime you can go down the tractor or go down the track on a tractor, it's great. But he misses the 4-1.
Yeah. Interesting, because see, I got an inch, and I actually ran and took a mile, and so I already thought to myself, well, is there something Harrison likes about the super farms? And I thought, that could be a good class for him. Jamie, she's a little more comfortable with the real horsepower. We kind of know who handles things. Then maybe we'll back him down, put him in the super farms. And I thought, are we going to see him owning his own super farm before it's all said and done? But there you go. He wants to get back in a limited pro stock class. Will he? I talked to your mom and dad while I was there, so I'll just ask the question straight out. Will we see Harry having his own tractor at some point in his pulling career in the next 30 years? Will we have a his and her set of pulling vehicles?
See, in my head, I say yes, because I don't like to share. But we'll see.
Okay.
So, Mike thought he'd already signed a long-term contract with the Groney family to run that super farm, it sounds like. So, but
I tried trading the microphone. I made my best offer. I gave everything I could. I said, Harry, trade you Mike for a tractor, and he came back with a laughing emoji, and I think that's probably the appropriate response.
He's not sharing that seat.
Well, Jamie, let's talk Holganix. It's a big weekend for the Outlaws with Holganix here coming up. 11 of the 13 classes that are in the Summer Sweep this year, brought to you by Holganix, are pulling. As a matter of fact, that's every class that's in Ravenna is in that sweep. So just talk about Holganix a little bit and the partnership the Outlaws has with Holganix, why Holganix supports the Outlaws as much as they do.
So Holganix has been a company for probably, I think it's 2012 or 10 or something like that. But they just branched into the agronomic field in the last couple of years. So one of the steps that Todd Bowles took when that happened was going to sponsoring Outlaws. This has been huge for the company, huge for Outlaws. One of our core values is win-win. And that's something we strive to do in everything we do. So Todd Bowles kind of thought about how do we get this a win-win for both Outlaw, for the pullers, for Holganix. So Outlaws has been huge in making the Holganix world grow very, very fast. There is a significant amount of pullers that are using the product and love it. My dad being one of those, that's how I got the job. So sponsoring and doing the sweep allows pullers to win a little bit more and be able to get just a little bit extra purse for how much time and effort they're putting into everything that they do, not only on the track, but off the track for Holganix and for Outlaws. So it's a good partnership that just keeps continuing to grow.
Yeah, I repost a lot of the Holganix posts where it shows, the test plot and then the Holganix plot, and it's like you can see the difference in the roots and everything, and it seems like a no-brainer, and I repost those all the time because I think it's cool. And the proof's in the pudding that the pullers, a lot of them will try it the first year, they'll buy a little bit, and then the next year it seems like they're all in. So it makes believers out of people pretty quickly, it seems like.
It sure does. We're I mean, I didn't want to believe it at first either. My dad didn't want to believe it at first, but it has changed a lot of stuff on our farm for the better.
Yeah, because how often as a farmer does someone come down the road with this year's version of the snake oil? You know, this is going to turn this field that's never produced more bushels than it should into, you know, the golden goose. And I imagine, you know, I'm not in farming. We got out of farming when I was very young, but that could probably be wearisome and tiresome to always have these sales reps and everything. So I imagine the farmer grows very leery after a while of trusting what's going to improve his product. But like Ron says, and like everyone I've talked to with this, it's significant. How soon? So your dad, he's, you know, a tried and true farmer out there in Nebraska. How quickly was his mind made up when he began applying this product? Or what stories do you typically hear from these farmers that are like, well, we'll see? What's kind of their aha moment when they're like, oh, we got to run with this stuff?
I guess I'll tell a story about a farmer I literally talked to this morning. I called him because I was like, hey, I'm going to come out into the area. I'd like to take a look at your fields. And he was like, I just got to tell you, I am 100% believer in this product now. And I was like, oh, really? Like, what made you think that? And he goes, it was so easy to plant into my corn stubble this year. And it has never been that easy ever. And we barely got any rain. And so he was over the moon about it. And this is a guy that used the product once.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Crazy. There's Tammy Weisenkamp, Chad Weisenkamp's wife, talking about how much he talks about it and then tells people about it as well. So, you know, and not just using the product, but also it can potentially save you money, not only make you more money by getting you more bushels per acre, but you can use up to 40% less fertilizer, which is pretty high right now.
Yeah, it depends. It's a case-by-case basis, but yeah, we're wanting to get from the 1-to-1 down to the 0.6-to-1. And obviously it depends on soil type and stuff, but in this economy, every dollar you don't have to spend is a lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, and you as a puller touched on this, because I love your motto, the win-win. And you talked about how Holganix, you know, is also able to work with and give back to the pullers and give them another caveat. So especially on this Holganix Sweep right here, because Jamie, as you know, sometimes these things go boom, you know, and it's not easy keeping it going and chasing points and going out and running all these miles. How big of a difference did you see that make to the pullers when all of a sudden there wasn't just one year-end points race, but there was kind of two? You know, there was a race within a race, and there was more than one way to go out there and stay competitive. You know, did that create quite a bit of buzz, or has that continued to create a big amount of buzz for the pullers in the pits chasing that secondary points race?
Yeah, even just this spring, I've had a lot of calls already of, I'm going to run the Holganix Sweep. I'm going to make sure I'm there for all of them because that's just a little extra for them. I mean, we've got $5-6 diesel fuel right now. Any little bit you can get helps. Yeah. And I mean, parts are expensive. We all know it. I know it very well right now.
Yeah.
But
I heard you kind of go when he said they go boom.
But we know it's going to happen. But any little bit that we can help our farmers and help those that are supporting us as Holganix is what I mean. And especially those pullers that have gotten us to the place that we are now. Why wouldn't we kick back? Why wouldn't we help them keep going and it's advertising for us, but it's also helping them keep it going down the track.
And on a year, because we have these years, every once in a while where diesel goes crazy. And let's imagine Holganix isn't invested the way that they are. There might be pullers who are tempted to say, I don't know if I can go 100% this year. I might have to stay local. But when there's a second, points chase out there, this gives a shot in the arm to a sport that is very tied economically to other things. So, yeah, I think, having a sponsor like Holganix is good for the sport as a whole, because otherwise you might see pullers say, I can't run the show this year. It keeps pullers coming out. So this is huge. Ron, you've really watched this grow over the past couple of years. This Holganix Sweep, it seems like it just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, the Holganix has upped the ante each year. And I know Jamie was talking about Todd a little bit. And Todd, one of his big things, he's always trying to get more money in the pockets of the pullers. And, we at the Outlaws are as well. So it's a good relationship in that respect too. But, Yeah, and the Holganix money is usually goes to the classes that actually buy the product. So if there's somebody in the class, sometimes it's just one person in the class has purchased the product, and Todd and Dave will say, hey, we're going to do that class.
Yeah.
So it shows it's a good partnership. Holganix a great company. It's one of those sponsors that you love to work with. And it's so easy to work with as well, and a great product. I mean, I feel like I've learned so much. I'm the furthest thing from being an agronomist, but I've learned a lot over the last few years, Jamie, about soil and fertilizer and things like that.
Yeah, and I just want to say, the pullers, that if you want to sweep, you don't have to be a farmer. I'm sure every one of us knows at least one farmer. Just bring us people and give us the opportunity to talk to them. And that helps us out a lot. And we're more than willing to do more.
Well, I'll go another step, Jamie, because another thing I thought about, I would also encourage promoters and fair board members to work with you guys too, because it's really interesting to see how Holganix can boost and interact with pools. A good example, I went to Mercer, Missouri, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like a 3-class Wednesday night show, just a smaller schedule. And at year's end, the Go Grow meetings there at Mercer had one of the most profitable and one of the biggest Go Grow partnerships right there. And now all of a sudden, and I don't know if they're tied that closely, but now it's a Friday night show and it's a 5 or 6 class show. And, you see these things grow and these change. So it doesn't only have to be pullers either. That it can be, who at a pull can you reach? You can reach anybody that's willing to talk to you guys, right?
Absolutely. We're open to conversations everywhere we go.
Yeah, I literally have reached out to friends that some were pullers, in the past that I pulled with, or just farmers that I know, and tell them about the product. And yeah, farmers they're the most skeptical people in the world when it comes to new products. They really are. So you've got to show them some proof. But yeah, I definitely introduce it to every farmer that I know, because now I'm a true believer in the product, because all the guys that use it say it works, and it works amazing. So. But Jamie, we've got. Go ahead.
Well, I say it helps. Coming from the farmer, yeah, I'm a employee of Holganix, but I was a farmer's daughter first. I saw it firsthand before I jumped in and said, yeah, I want to sell it. I wouldn't sell it if I didn't believe in it either.
Yeah, your dad wouldn't let you. He'd be sitting there saying, I've gotten to know your parents well enough that they're not the type to false advertise. They are tried and true salt of the earth people. And he'd be like, I can just hear him saying, don't go pushing that crap on. No, but if he believes in it, it's the real stuff.
Well, we've got another guest here, Jamie, right now. The folks that are used to seeing Todd Bowles every week in and week out at the pools, and that great big trailer, the Holganix trailer, we're not going to see Todd as much this year, right? He's going to be off with NTPA and ITPA. They're going to be keeping him busy over there. So who do we have that's going to be taking Todd Bowles' place this year?
So taking Todd Bowles' place, and obviously nobody can replace Todd Bowles. We're not here to do that. But we have Lauren.
Don't tell him that.
We've hired an intern for the summer, and hopefully we can continue the partnership with her. This is Lauren. Lauren's from around the Weston area of Nebraska, so it's west of Wahoo-ish. And she'll be taking the trailer around to all the polls. So pullers, it's a familiar face now, so say hello. I'll be at the majority of them too, but Lauren can tell a bit more about her background if she wants.
It's Lauren Susan.
Soshek.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's Czech. I'm from kind of by Prague, in between Prague and Weston, so that's where a lot of the Czechs settled. So I'm growing up on my family's 4th generation farm. We have cattle and crop. How I actually got this internship is my dad stopped to check and see if one of the sales reps was okay when she was doing a soil test down one of our neighbors' fields. So that's kind of my story of getting into Holganix. But I got 5 older brothers, and I pulled trailers before, so I'm excited to be pulling for such a influential company. They're not influential yet, but what they're doing is definitely gonna make them big.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing where they go in the future.
So are you a tractor pulling fan, Lauren?
No, I went to pulls growing up outside of Norfolk the other day. The last pull I had gone to was like 4 years ago. My town stopped doing tractor pulls about 4 years ago. So
I heard you talking with Dave at Norfolk the other day, and he kind of said, I was walking away and I heard him say, so this is a tractor pull, and kind of was going over some things. You took it all in. I mean, are you hooked? What'd you think of it?
yeah, it's cool. I've been to them before, but it's definitely cool to watch.
Good.
We'll get her a big fan by the end of the summer.
I say these are her people. She'll come around. Yeah, she'll be loving it once it's all said and done.
Dave Nelson said, Jamie, if your dad can become a believer, that's a testimony to the product. Mm-hmm. Good job on your part getting him to use it. So try to catch up on comments here. Okay, we can come back to some of those. So Lauren, when is the first time we'll see you? Are you going to be in Ravenna this weekend?
Yep, I'll be in Ravenna. Trailer will be there ready to go for Friday night's events.
Good. Okay. Awesome. So this is just a summer job for you, or you're wanting to get on full time with Holganix?
Hoping so. Hoping to be full time.
It's a great company.
All right,
Lauren.
Yep.
So.
Jamie, did you start as an intern, or were you kind of like a part-time worker and just decided to make a career of it? How did your journey go compared to where Lauren's kind of developing in her story?
Pretty much the exact same thing. I got a call last January asking if I wanted to do an internship for the summer.
Yeah. And
I absolutely loved it. Then I just started to work part-time through college. And as soon as I graduated, I took on full-time.
Absolutely.
Kurt Van Beek says one of the best relationships with a sponsor that we ever did was him and Todd getting together, starting the great sponsorship program. Thanks, Todd. Thank you, Holganix. So awesome. Well, Lauren, we look forward to. It's pretty windy there where you're at. Sounds like.
Yeah.
We look forward to meeting you this weekend, and hopefully nobody gives you too rough a time out there. The practice will be kind of hard on a newbie, so beware.
I got 5 older brothers. I can take it.
There we go. All right, Lauren, thanks for coming on.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank
Jamie,
you.
you're going to be there this weekend as well, right?
I sure will.
Good deal. Well, safe travels to the both of you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks.
Thanks, ladies. Yeah, awesome sponsor, Holganix. Can't say enough about them. I almost wish I was an agronomist so I could turn more people onto it. That they hear it coming from me, and it's like, well, what do you know?
Right. No, I understand, because when you're an announcer, you think, well, okay, that's your job, is to make everything, do your best to make everything sound good. But truly, I would encourage you, if you're a farmer, if you're in the agricultural business, talk to the people that use it. Maybe that's the best place to start. Talk to the Chad Weisenkamps and the Craig Yonkies out there. And, just when you're going to a pull and when you're meeting drivers, talk to them about the products they're using, and they'll be able to really, help you to see what they're doing with it, because these are people that, that they don't believe into something willy-nilly. And we have seen it really take off like wildfire, Ron. I mean, it just seems like more and more and more we hear about people falling in love with this product.
Willy-nilly. Didn't they get in trouble for lip syncing back in the 80s or something, or 90s?
Wasn't that like Thrilla Vanilla, or what? I don't remember. That was. I know what you're.
Milli Vanilli.
That was a little before my time, just before, not by much.
Oh, stop it!
I was close. No. I'm saying I'm there with you. I was just, I wasn't quite there.
Let's go back to this rumor mill thing here. Kurt,
there's a lot churning. Have you been reading over here with this?
Yeah, I have.
Going on.
This is what's going on the screen also. So they're Kurt throwing a rumor out there that the wide loose steer was sold. Kyle Pedley says all rumors, Kurt. They'll be excited to be in Colbert at the end of June with the wide loose steer. And then Kurt says, yeah, the new wide loose steer
The plot thickens, folks.
Yeah, and then Kurt says, "Good luck." And then back to Kyle. He says, "We're excited for this season and to see what we can do. It's good to be a good season for more than just us. Can't wait." So
tell me what you're reading between the lines, Ron. What are you gleaning from this?
Sounds like there might be a brand new wide loose deer, and the old wide loose deer got sold. So that's what I'm reading here.
But I will say this, because at first it kind of felt like, okay, wide loose deer has moved on. Well, it's great to hear Kyle Pedley say one way or another, we will still see him at some of these big events or, the tracks that he chooses, because tell you what, that guy's an absolute wheel man. It seems like everything he touches on a track turns to gold, and he's, always up there doing a winner's interview. So fun to know that we'll still see his team out there competing regardless of what has happened.
That's one of those feared pro stocks when it pulls in, people take notice when the wide loose deer is on the premises. So, Chris Kilbar says Willie Vanilli. There you go.
I knew I had, somewhere in between.
Chris Slaughter, yes. Are you coming to Ravenna this weekend? If you're coming to Ravenna this weekend, we can hook you up. So let me look. Was he signed up, Mike, for Pro Stock 4x4?
Let me pull my app up.
Maybe he'll let us know here. Yeah, we can reach out to you and hook you up with somebody from Holganix there in Southwest Iowa. Absolutely. Won't be in Ravenna. We can hook you up, Chris. No worries. No worries. So I don't know if Tim is here backstage. Maybe
go ahead and add him. I think it's just he's audio only. This is how it was last night. Tim, are you on with us?
We're trying. Jess?
You're live,
Can you hear
Tim.
me?
Yeah, we got you.
You got me?
We got you.
Okay.
We're good to go.
Well, you know how savvy I am with this kind of crap. I got to get my daughter over to do it.
Well,
I'm not going to be doing nothing because it's raining. You see it coming in? Get the car in, make sure my windows are up.
Get it out of the system right now, Tim.
Yeah. So
I'm sitting in my kitchen in my house, and I see rain coming in from the south.
There's two ways the fans can take this. They can say, "Oh man, we got Ravenna on the show, and it's raining," or like Ron says, "It's raining now." So that way it's not raining on Friday and Saturday.
Well, I can see it coming in right now. Yeah, we're rolling windows up, putting cars inside.
Well, after what you guys did there last year, after the rain we had on Friday night, and the mess that you guys cleaned up, and actually had a good track on Saturday night, with the improvements you made, Tim, I have full faith in you guys. Unless it's raining when the green flag drops on Saturday night or Friday night, we're going to be pulling.
Well, that's why we finally changed our plan and did something different. And I hope it works. I mean, after last Thursday, when the rain, we moved mud around all night long. We made the decision, if it's happening again, we're not doing it. We tore a lot of equipment up, and it wasn't worth it. But Friday night, if we wouldn't have had that rain come in about 20 before the pull, we would have pulled both nights.
Yeah.
But it just made that truck into muck. So, but we worked all day Saturday. We brought sand in, dirt in. We just worked all day long to get the pull in on Saturday night. And that's kind of always been our motto since we've ever done it. We work our butts off. At least, we enjoy them guys pulling in Ravenna. So we try our best.
Yeah. It's
the track last year on Saturday night, and I remember it was an interesting, and maybe that's not the right way to describe it, but Ron, we had done opening ceremonies Friday night. We were there, we were getting the crowd into it, who's ready to go pulling, and it was at that moment that we had to kind of call the show. So it was all go right up until it wasn't on Friday. And
Yep.
then all day Saturday, we were kind of wondering, man, I don't know. But Ron, about midway through the show on Saturday night, we looked at each other and we're like, this is an awesome track, you know.
Yeah,
so for what those guys had done, it wasn't just a, well, good job getting the show by and getting on. It was, this actually is a really, really good track. So, I mean, you guys do a phenomenal job. You've had a tough go of it, but a new date this year. And hopefully we're thinking 2 sessions is going to be great.
Well, Friday should be good. Saturday it's going to be questionable, but we'll hope Mother Nature leaves us alone one year.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be fun.
It'd be fun. It's you put too much work in it for one night or no nights.
Yep.
So
New class this year. You added the limited pro diesel pickups.
I picked on Jason last night a little bit about the diesel super stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't let him off the hook, Ron. He kind of told him. He said, "Yeah, you know these diesel super guys."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the class. I know a bunch of guys running it. You know what? We want tractors there. We don't need 3. We need. I hope we get 10 diesel pickups. So
Yeah.
we want hooks. We don't want to. We want entertainment. We don't want. And them super stocks last year, they had 3 and only 1 made it down the track. The other 2 puffed out at the starting line.
Yeah, those things are pretty cantankerous. It's hard, it's tough sometimes to get those things to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, man, I know. I've seen the hood underneath them, and it's if you don't have good equipment in every 4 corners, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's nice talking to you guys tonight, and we'll see you in a couple of days. And I was going to go down tonight and mark some three the campers down there tonight. Kyle texted me, said, "Can you do that?" And I might get wet, but I'll get it done.
Yeah, we were talking. I think before you were in the backstage there, and it's only Tuesday, and on the app you've got 9 2-wheelers signed up already, 15 pro stock pickups, 9 light limited pro stocks. I think modifieds, you got 7 already, big modifieds. Yeah. So it's only Tuesday, and that's pretty good numbers for a Tuesday on the app for a pool.
Yes, that is. That's great numbers. I was hoping for 100 hooks with 11 classes. I might be a little too heavy. It might be 90, 95, but you know what? We're still going to have a good show.
I feel like, Ron, help me out, and Tim, help me out. Weren't we right at or above 100 each of the past 2 years? That number really sticks in my mind. Maybe didn't quite get there, but I thought we were right at it. So,
well, that's what we shoot for. That's what we shoot for. So, yeah, we want to put a good show on. Like you've been bragging about Ravenna for a long time, and I appreciate that.
It's a great pull. It is worth. And another thing I want to encourage fans, because it's about as far west as we go. You can look at us. Sometimes the Outlaws stay very tight, and we do a lot in eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, and sometimes we really branch out when we start getting into southern Oklahoma, Texas, and out there in central Nebraska. So fans might look at this and be like, I don't know, that's on the western edge. If you're at a 50-50, fans, this is a destination pull. I would encourage you to attend it. My dad went out to it like 10 or 15 years ago before we were really following the outlaw circuit, just because he felt it was worth driving to. And he came home and said he wasn't disappointed. So give it a go. And Tim was talking about price last night. $20 a guy to get in. I mean, where are you going to find that in 2026? So if you're on the fence, this one's not fluff. This is a cornerstone pull, and it's worth the extra 2 or 3 hours to go out there and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we didn't do it. We want people to show up.
Yeah, $20 a night, right? And 12 and under is, I mean, your prices are great.
Yeah, and we when we moved about 10 years ago from 15 to whatever, man, I got my ass chewed up from everybody. Well, what's $20 buy you? Nothing.
And a great 4-hour show at Ravenna, Nebraska. It buys you 100 outlaw hooks and a great Friday and Saturday night. But what's your 12 and under and 5 and under you were talking last night? It gets even better for the whole family, doesn't it?
Well, 5 to 12 is only $5, and 5 and under is free.
Yeah.
You can't buy a meal for kids for $5.
No.
Well, the concession stands probably make up for that, but but we do concession stands for our youth. We got 4-H group doing some stands, and that's what we want to do. We want these groups to make money for their projects that they have all year, and we try to make it community involved as much as we can. So
awesome.
That's where we're at.
Awesome. We are looking forward to it. Is the R bar still open there?
Yeah, it's still open. Yeah.
Okay. So folks come in early on Thursday night, they can go to the R bar and hang out and have a drink or two.
Well, we show up later because we got a lot of work to do. But
but the pullers can go down to the R bar, is what you're saying.
Right. So,
well, speaking of meals, we said you can't buy anything for like $5, but if I remember right, last year our bar had like hamburger night or something like that.
They do on Thursday night. You get a hamburger and fry and a pitcher.
$5 a burger. It was amazing.
And pitcher of beer for $4.
Oh, wow.
I think they moved it to 5, but whatever.
Everyone who is just on the fence as to whether or not they were going is 100% going now, because they're like, where else are you going to find that deal? You might as well go out to Ravenna, get the $5 pitcher of beer, the $20 pull, and watch 100 vehicles go down the track times.
Yeah, I think we got a bargain out here. We do. We do. But we couldn't do it with all of our sponsors. I mean, if it wasn't for them, this pull would never, ever happen.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, pitchers of the beer you drank are like double.
The ones I'm paying because what I'm buying mine and buying yours?
No, just the type of beer you drink it's
that.
double.
Well, if you're buying yours and his, that doubled your price.
Coors Light is worth the little extra.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more we can talk about, but I encourage everybody to come out. I mean, we work our tail off every year, and it just isn't Ravenna, Nebraska. It's every pull on the Outlaw circuit.
Yeah.
Everybody that puts them on busts their butt. And I don't care if we're from Texas to Oklahoma to Iowa, Missouri. Everybody that's a promoter, they work their butt off, or else they don't have a good show.
Yeah.
Miller
he's on the app right now, Tim, and he says you're at 71 or 72 pullers so far on the app now.
I'll be honest, on a Tuesday night, that's big. This show, if it follows the trends that Outlaw shows typically do, there's going to be a very big pull. I'm telling you, this is a cornerstone pull.
Well, you're talking about that Holganix, whatever you call it, fertilizer stuff. Holganix. Well, who's the big pusher of that in Ravenna, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Mr.
Gary Barron. Yeah.
Gary Barron, and he works very hard at it, and he believes in it. And your last promoter promoted it, but I'm gonna promote it for Gary because Gary's a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
So
he's a good dude.
Yeah. He's gonna pull in Ravenna, so that's nice.
Yeah. Signed up on
he pulled up in Wayne last week too. That was sorry to see they only had 2 tractors up in that class.
Norfolk, in Norfolk.
Yeah.
That it'll grow. This guys got to get their stuff together, and then I think there's even a couple of the guys that pull in the class have some family functions. One is a funeral, I think, and the other is a child's function. So it may be low numbers in that class again this weekend, but it'll get there. It'll get there. Lori says she'll see you on Thursday, Tim.
Lori says, okay. I need to give them a hug, Karen and Kevin. They lost their good friends.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
It was hard. It's been a tough couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do them very well.
Yeah. It's
tough deal on both of them. So, but no, I enjoy talking to Kevin and Lori. And, Dave come up before you were there, Ron.
Yeah.
I got to really know him real well. And, he he did a tremendous job for the Outlaws and wherever
yes.
he did. I mean, he was just an awesome man.
Yeah,
We in 20 years, Ron, you can be in the same stature.
yeah, I like I said, he's, I took his place. I took over
Yep.
for him to carry the torch, but he will forever be the voice of the Outlaws. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna talk to Kyle and whoever, but I like to talk about him a little bit for the poll if we can. I know a lot of people remember him, so
Yeah, I'll put it this way: it's certainly not something that we could ever replace. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just an honor to be standing in the same place doing the same thing he was doing for the association that he laid down the foundation for. So you don't ever replace the Dave Bennett. I'm just happy to be doing what he did, and that's that's enough for me right there.
You guys are standing on these same foot feet that he was up there a long time. So,
yeah.
But
we miss him already. We miss him already.
I wish I had the time to go to Oklahoma and see all that, but it just work doesn't allow me to do a lot of stuff. So
I hear you. Well, Tim, we'll let you go, buddy. I know you got a lot of stuff to do there. We'll see you Thursday night. We'll be rolling in. I think Mike, you're rolling in Thursday night too, right?
Yep.
So
I'm taking the pickup.
we'll be there Thursday night. Mike's buying the first and last round. So
I suppose. Yeah.
Happy to do it.
So no, I will see you guys Thursday evening. You're coming up Thursday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going down there. I mean, it's kind of raining and stuff, but we're in tornado warning and everything.
Oh,
but
take cover.
Oh no, I'm gonna go down and put that fence up.
That's just a Tuesday night in central Nebraska. The sirens are going off. We'll run out and mark some camping spots.
If I can't outdrive a tornado, I don't want to drive.
That's central Nebraska.
I've lived here my whole life, so don't scare me a bit. I've seen a lot of tornadoes in this country.
Yeah. Folks in Kansas are the exact same way. They don't panic unless they actually see it, and they still don't really panic when they see it. They just kind of get out of the way. So.
If it takes my house, that's okay.
Well, Tim, take cover and do what you got to do. We'll see you Thursday, buddy.
Well, I'm honored to see you guys, and thanks for my time again tonight. I knew it was more about visiting about personal stuff than
that's what it's all
tractor
about.
pull, but. Everybody knows about it. I advertised well. Everybody knows about it, and I love Mike. You said it's a signature pull, and it's been a signature pull for a long, long time. And we've gone out of our way every year to try, with the bad weather, to just work our asses off. At least get one night in.
Yep. You do that. You do that. So we're hoping we get two in, and we have a great weekend. I'm sure the competition is going to be there. Fans going to be there, so we're looking forward to it, Tim.
Well, we're talking some storms, maybe 40% chance on Saturday afternoon. Hell, I think it could rain an inch down there and it ain't going to hurt us any.
Yeah.
We might have to start a little later, but, we'll see what happens.
Yep, we'll see.
Okay,
we're optimistic, so.
Yep, well, I will talk to you guys on Thursday.
Thanks, Tim. We'll see you Thursday.
You bet.
Bye. So Tim McKeown from the Ravenna Truck and Tractor Pull with the Outlaws this weekend, 11 classes, points starting, Holganix Sweep starting, the kickoff of the Holganix Summer Sweep. Case Conover down in Texas says he'll be watching on Full Pull Live. Thanks for that, Case. If you can't make it to Ravenna, and if you're within an hour or two of Ravenna, we expect you to be there. But if you can't make it to Ravenna for whatever reason, absolutely go to Full Pull Live, fullpull.live, the official live streaming channel of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pullers. You can watch every single hook.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, you can't be there, download the Outlaw Pulling app and you can get results in real time as the pull's going on. So a lot of ways to keep up with the action with the Outlaws.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Case gets a pass because he's down there in Texas. So, but everyone else, you can be out there. And Full Pull, always go back and rewatch them too. That's how I like to use it. But no wrong way to go pulling.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yep, now I got you.
Yeah, my video's frozen, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you could hear me or not. So
Yep, we still got you.
okay, all right. It might pop back up. Everything started working here.
There we go.
Yeah, Robert Miner said, "You think I'm frozen?" I was thinking, well, no, the air conditioning's not up that high. I'm pretty comfortable, but sorry, throwing it down.
My air conditioning was frozen yesterday, which is the biggest misnomer in the English language, because I learned that when your air conditioning is frozen, you most certainly are not frozen. So that was something that I had to figure out. But see, I'm good at learning lessons the hard way. So I now know how to thaw out an air conditioning so you can refreeze and not be thawed out. But
right. Alan Omer says he's working feverishly to get his tractor ready for the weekend. Yeah, so far not a whole lot signed up in light superstock, Alan. So.
And Alan, you are documenting every single step of the process too on Snapchat. Alan is like my inside light superstock correspondent, and whether I wanted to or not, I have learned a ton about the installation of a multi-stage turbo system. It's actually really interesting, but I would say Alan doesn't take a step on this tractor, it seems, without sending me updates on it. I cannot wait to see it in person. I got a snap right before the show started where I can almost tell you up to the minute what the tractor still needs. So it's like a live process.
On Snap, he was doing some welding on some of the plumbing there. Some pretty nice.
Yeah, we have one basically hose left to attach. He's got going from the 2 to 1. He's got all the turbos mounted, and one of those top chargers is feeding down to the bottom. He's just got to get that other one fed down to the bottom, and then he's going to be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, probably a lot of other little things that take a lot of time to get finished up too. Mm-hmm. Little things there, Mike. Screws here and brackets there and things like that, but I'm sure.
But the air is going to be moving in the right direction.
Yeah, heck yeah. Skillbarger says he watches all the Outlaw pulls on Full Pull Live. Ohio to Nebraska, pretty good trek.
That would be. Ron, were you with the Outlaws back in the day? I flipped through the old programs, and you always see the Outlaw pulls, and it's got pulls in Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, South Dakota, and then there was a couple of years where there was a pull in Ohio. Yep. It was kind of an island. It was there was all these Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa pulls, and then for a while they had a pull in Ohio. Did you ever go out there and experience that?
I think that was done when I came on full time. I think the year before, I think was the last year they did that. That was all one puller that's from Ohio that had 2 pro stocks, 250 pros. Set that up. I think it was Hillsboro, Ohio, up around Cincinnati, where they had that. I wasn't with the Outlaws at that time. That would have been cool. That's not too far.
Just neat. I love looking at these, these little outlier pulls. Like when we used to have a pull out in Colorado, you went and did that one, and there was some rumors in the off season, or there was some interest in like northern North Dakota or Montana or something like that wanted to have a pull, and I always think it's neat when you get that one little spot that's kind of way off on the edge of the map.
Yep, Jeff Parker, Alan Omer's naming him here. And
he's pulled at Bedford 2 years
several
ago.
Times, here and there since then. Mm-hmm. He's a pretty busy guy too, and of course, Ohio, to Nebraska, like Chris Kilbarger said, is pretty good haul. So
yeah,
there he
long ways out there.
Pro is so. But yeah, awesome. So, want to thank everyone for watching tonight. Get ready for Ravenna, Nebraska this weekend. Going to be a big one. Big thanks to Holganix for sponsoring the Holganix Summer Sweep. It's like a points race inside a points race, putting more money in the pullers' pockets. We sure appreciate that. So, Alan Andrews checking in. Okay, I seen this. He had let's talk about this for just a moment. He's got like a wrestling belt. Champion belt.
I saw that. I was trying to understand what was going down with that. Okay, I'm glad to have the inside scoop.
So, pass it on to Super Farm. Are you going to do this weekly, Alan? I'm guessing the weekly winners, because I see you pass it on to the Super Farm winner, John Halinga, on Friday night. I saw a picture of that on social media.
Yep. Yeah, they do a great job, too. I love watching. We talk a lot about Alan Ulmer and the job that he does on Snapchat and other social media. Yeah. But the Andrews guys do a phenomenal job on their social media pages as well. The Bruley Buck and the Dakota Deer, if you don't follow them, go follow them. They do a really great job of the behind the scenes look. Most of the time it's very mechanically driven, but sometimes it's fun in the pits. And evidently the Super Farm guys are going to have the traveling belt trophy weekend to weekend. So that'll be neat.
So does that mean does the points winner get the belt to keep in the off season until the season begins?
Oh, good question.
I think maybe it should. I mean,
I like that. I like that idea. Get it in the off season, sign your name on it. It's like the Stanley Cup, and then they just add to it each year.
Yeah. Kevin Davis says Holganix helped the Wayne Fair.
No doubt it.
Very cool. Yep, we know that. We know that. The promoters get on board and. Holganix will help those promoters out come pull time. We've got some promoters that get up to $50,000, over $50,000 for all the acreage that they have a part in selling in their area. So Alan says the weekly winner, Belinga has it now to keep. We are all, so after the weekend, then is it Saturday night's winner or is it the overall weekend best of winner?
Alan? Good question. You say you might, because if you win it on a Friday. So I like this though.
Friday night guy get it just till Saturday, or
but I love that. I love that it's not just a picture and it goes back in their trailer. Because the way I gather, the Andrews family, kind of had this, developed this. So Halinga's out there carrying this around. That's what the pullers really need to do. Take a picture. What did the belt do this week? Did you take it to the local ball game and the T-ball team got a win, or did it go to the drag races or whatever? And then, Friday night, you got to bring it back to the track and see if you get to defend it or hand it on. But I don't know, it'd be a bummer. You win it on Friday and turn around and lose it on Saturday.
It'd be kind of cool though, Mike, to see an Alan Andrews throw that belt over his shoulder, come up before the pull and talk to people like wrestling. I'm telling you, brother, if you want this belt.
And he says, Mike, you oversell me. He goes, all you did last year was a 7-time national points champion. He's like, you went there too much, but now we're walking around with the belt. How does a guy not? 8-time national champion with the belt winner from last week. You got to announce it like that.
And Alan says the end of the weekend. So the best overall, finish for the weekend gets the belt on a 2-hook pull, I guess. So.
Ron, this will be something fun to keep track of. We'll be able to now be like, all right, folks, he's got the belt right now. That we can have some fun with this.
Oh, look at here. Look at Harrison Lane says he's coming for that belt.
look at what Alan told me. I've done my one hype up announce for the.
Chill out, Mike.
Nothing.
So Harrison, look at him.
Back.
He's a Super Farm guy now. He says he's coming for that belt. He dipped his toe in the
I'm
water.
telling you, he says he likes the 4-1s, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him owning one of these Super Farms.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for doing that, Alan. That's cool.
I like that. That's very neat.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Tuesday night of Outlawed Live. We'll see you all. I'm still frozen on the screen, Mike. What's going on? It got me with my eyes closed too. So.
Well, it's like the air conditioning. Just put it on fan, run some hot air across of it. It'll thaw out,
Yeah. Oh, some great. Back to you, Mean Mike.
I was
like
actually.
Mean Gene.
No, my moniker, a total side story here. My next door neighbor and I had a venture over the past couple of years where we had a pumpkin patch in the fall. They're all the rage. Kids go out there, pick pumpkins, you have slides and whatever. And there was a hayride. And I was the narrator of the hayride and the whole quest on the hayride. They had high school kids dressed up as Bigfoot, and my character was Maniac Mike on the hayride. So it's not Mean Mike, it's Maniac Mike.
Maniac
Mike was like a folklore legend for a couple of years around here at the pumpkin patch.
Gotcha. So Bill Schmidt says don't count the Cornhusker out. Don't cut him out. They're all coming for the belt now, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. This is going to be something fun. I'm really glad that the Andrews family got this going. This is going to be neat.
Yeah, Chris Kilby, he likes Maniac Mike. We got to get our wrestler names for before the weekend to do this belt thing, Mike. We got to get the voice, brother. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the voice.
Well, then you're just going to have Alan coming up there and be like, guys, mellow out. Alan gets us all hyped up on these things. He wins championships, and then he gets the belt, and then he tells us that we're being too loud on the microphone. Hey, it comes with it.
Awesome.
Spread the fun around. Yeah, it says we got to have a new winner. Yeah, it's not going to be any fun if Halinga just holds on to it all year, is it?
That's right.
They didn't think about that.
Thank you so much, everybody, for taking part in the show tonight. If you can't make it to Ravenna, Nebraska this weekend, make sure you watch it on Full Pull Live. Thanks for watching, Mike. Thank you. And we'll see you Thursday, buddy. And we'll see everyone else on Friday from Ravenna, Nebraska. Good night, everyone.